That's accurate.
Yep. Hello. We're in
Good
it.
morning, everybody.
Morning.
This is the speed run edition, so we can't dick around too much. How was your week?
My
Oh, the show's Rise in Mind.
Hello.
Welcome on in.
Welcome to Rise in Mind.
Okay, next.
Welcome.
Hey, I'm not on ADHD medication anymore, so get ready.
My week was good. How was your week?
Pretty crazy. Because of national shortages on medications, I've just been off the ADHD medication for probably a lot longer than I should be, and because of that, I actually had to cut back on smoking so much herb. So I have a rule now. After 7 p.m. That's my rule, and but.
God damn.
I'm still functioning, so I've had to make a few adjustments.
Yep.
My mood's a bit better, which is cool. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm starting to figure some shit out here. I might actually be a human somewhere in there again, but how you doing?
You're a real boy.
I'm a real boy.
I'm a real boy as well. I've had quite a crazy week, mostly because of work. I had so much. I'm actually happy that we're doing a short show today because I had to make 100 phone calls this week for work.
100 phone calls.
And
wow.
If anyone knows ADHD and phone calls and talking on the phone, it's like
you already hell. Make like the side of my, made the side of my head tingle, dude.
That was hell. It was just like, oh my god. And the amount of anxiety over like just making the phone call and then you make it and they don't pick up, it's like so frustrating. It's like I already fought through my anxiety and you didn't even pick up the phone for me to do the goddamn survey that I'm trying to get people to do. It's like
thanks for nothing, dude. I gave you a whole bunch of shit and you didn't even have to pick up the phone. I'm terrified over here. Look at
What do you think of David Goggins?
What'd you say? Lady Goggins?
What do you think of David Goggins?
I don't know who David Goggins is. You can tell me who that guy is.
Okay.
I know Walter Goggins. He's a good actor. You guys check out Walter Goggins, man.
Walter Goggins.
Vice Principals with Danny McBride. Funniest fucking shit I've ever seen.
Oh my god.
I bet she smells like straight buttholes.
Have you heard of this?
He just says some fucked up shit.
Have you heard of this red pill movement?
Red pill movement? Does that have anything to do with Morpheus from the Matrix?
Well, the hilarious thing about it is that they got it backwards when they named. Well, this movement named itself, I think. Sorry, 1 second. I can get my coffee.
Oh, he's fucking out of here. Well, I will keep speaking for the sake of the show, but yeah, my buddy. Who ran a video game store? He was really rolling with Trump, because a lot of people up here like Trump because Trump's an asshole and he's like a troll. So he's a real troll personality, my friend. So he's like, yeah, fuck it. This is dumb. I can't deal with it anymore. Let's kind of shake this whole shit up and be dinks about it. So I understand, and we talk, and I talk very general to people. I don't really talk about politics, but I talk about values and topics, and I could talk with anybody rationally, but my buddy would always say to that, he goes, oh, careful, you're almost I'm gonna red pill you by the time we're done.
Yeah,
and I'm like, no, I'm centered, man. Like,
well, even that though, it's not even about Trump. It's not even a political movement.
He's just a guy I brought up.
Oh, I see.
Because people know the president. People don't know the other.
Right.
You're playing a game of chess. You know the king and the queen. I don't know how the fucking horse moves or the bishop, or is this the bishop or the rook? You know what I'm saying.
So David Goggins is a fitness personality on social media.
Okay.
He has these insane videos where he's basically telling men to go a little bit nuts with their fitness routine. Remember, like last episode, we talked a bit about like getting in shape and improving our diet and stuff. So I started to look into my I started my own little fitness page back in 2019 or 2018, and I called it Always Worthy because
he should have called it Crafton's Thirst Trap.
Whoa. So so I called
Hey,
it.
what's up, Duke Zombie 666? Yay!
I called it always worthy because Thor: Love and Thunder was just announced, and I was like, I'm gonna get fit.
Dude,
I'm gonna get fit by the
I
time this
just
comes
saw
out.
that. I just watched that.
Yeah.
This 2 days ago for the first time.
How much of me did you see in that movie?
A little bit.
Yeah, it was a little
bit. I liked it.
It was a little crazy.
Fines, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, dude, Christian Bale is a bad guy. Oh man,
good.
I loved it.
That was good. Dude, that movie gets a bad rap. People didn't like it. It was not well received. But
it wasn't nearly as good as the other one, and because they shoehorned in more of the Marvel bullshit, and I think they pushed Waititi out. But yeah, there was some stuff that was really well done in that. At least if you're like, join in, and this is colorful.
Yeah,
that's all those movies really are to me. It's just,
oh my goodness, yeah,
song and dance, right? Anyway, so Walter Goggins, Love and Thunder.
Well, I called it always I called it always worthy because in Thor, he was questioning. Remember he got fat in one of the Avengers movies, I think it was. And he
Lebowski'd himself.
He went back in time when they went back in time in that movie, and they found the hammer.
Yep.
And it still accepted him, and he's like, I'm still worthy. And so I thought, no, dude, you were always worthy. You just needed to believe in yourself. And then I'm like, oh, that's what I need to call my fitness page.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you're getting back into
I'm trying
that page for.
Yeah, I started doing my routine again, where I do 10 push-ups and 10 leg lifts to start the day, and 10 push-ups and 10 leg lifts to end the day. And then I try to stay active during the day. And I'm trying to get an hour workout in every day when I can. I haven't found a good rhythm for that, but I have been getting little workouts in here and there. I actually got a pair of dumbbells at work too, so when it's slow at work, I can fit in small workouts there, which helps.
Hey, man,
but
you're doing it.
This David Goggins guy has gotten pretty famous. I don't know if you're aware of the animator on YouTube called Meat Cannon.
No, but that sounds like something I should know.
It's honestly you're kind. Well, I don't know if you. It's creepy. Like the way he animates is purposefully creepy.
No, that's probably cool. Yeah. I like spooky, creepy shit.
He did a David Goggins one, and it was hilarious, and he really touched on the how it is insane that his fitness routines are absolutely insane. And I feel like in order to live the life that he is living, you have to be rich already, because there's no way he has time for all that and has to pay bills and live.
Well, he's monetized his lifestyle, right?
Yeah, there is that, and he's got all these he hosts all these retreats, and he gets people to pay exorbitant amounts of money so that he always makes money from the retreat, that kind of thing. It's marketing. That's neither here nor there. I more want to talk about how if
he wasn't rich, yeah, he is now, kind of thing. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, the red pill movement is about be a man. It's like being the manliest man you can be is what it essentially is.
So we're counter to that.
That's why
we're the neutral area to that. We're the purple pill.
The stream title is the red pill movement. If that's the red pill movement, I'll take the blue pill. Thanks. Is what I titled it.
I just fucking eat purple and green pills, dude.
There you go, purple and green. No, that's the thing. Actually, I'm taking an antibiotic that's blue right now, and then they gave me the wrong antibiotic and it was red. So that's what made me probably
I don't want this one.
Probably on this.
Can you,
I don't like.
I actually have all my pills customly changed to orange, or I won't take them.
And the whole reason it's been called the red pill movement, and you're familiar with the Matrix. Take the red pill, and I'll show you a new world.
The two parties, right? The red and the blue, right?
Yeah,
that's how they are figuring it out.
So say the Matrix is real, and there's an alternate world where humans can be woken up into the real world, and it's dark and sad, and robots have taken over everything. Say that's true, right? But,
so 2026.
Yeah. As far as 1 week. As far as our brain is concerned, that theory is not far off. Our brains are not capable of experiencing the world in any other way except through our senses. And it's a very direct way to experience the world. Like we have our sight, we have our hearing, our feeling, our smell, all these senses, right? And that's just data that our brain is interpreting. So it, as far as we're concerned, that might as well be true.
Perfect example I saw yesterday. Do you remember on Instagram or whatever, they used to have is this dress white and gold or blue and black?
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like people were actually posting some really smart shit like that I went to school with. It's like, it's not a dress, it's a picture on your phone, dude. Because that's the nature of reality. And I finally figured out what was happening to people. It is an optical illusion. It is the way that it's lit.
It is.
And then if you take the color swatches, you can derive most of those colors from it.
Yep.
And if you pull up the intensities, the thing was, I realized that people were using their brain.
Yeah.
They were like, no, if this existed in the store, they're like, no, what is it now with your eyes versus what does your brain think it is where it is? Those are two different places. Artists learn to separate those places.
Yeah, we learn
separate those places. That look fucking crazy.
Quick art lesson for chat. So I want you to like close your eyes and imagine tint, hue, color, and tone.
Okay.
What did those look like in your mind? What did those words mean visually?
Yeah, that's tough.
That's hue.
Tint usually has to do
and tone.
Tint's the increasing of red, right? And then hue is what specific color? What's tone?
I'm the wrong person to be teaching this. I almost failed color theory.
Tone is tone's fucking music. No, tone's like that's a weird one. I don't even know how to describe tone.
The definition of the word tone. So when we speak of tone with our voice, with talking, it's the level of emotion. So in color, it's like the depth of the color. And then in the hue is with, like what we call color is actually the hue. Like our eyes are seeing the hue of it, not the actual color.
Yeah.
Whereas
because that's impacted by light.
Yeah, because the hue is how it's changed by light. Exactly. And then
if you want to take a little step away from that, what you do a lot of digital art. I do a lot of paint in space with light.
That's fascinating.
Those are completely opposite.
If you mix all the colors in a digital program, you'll get black. If you mix all the colors of an acrylic paint set, you'll get like this milky brown, this weird brown shit.
And then, if you're to mix all the colors in light, you know what that is.
It's white.
Yep. And it throws you, but it's like it's the reality of atmosphere versus physical like stacking of stuff.
So based on that, actually, you went right into what I was about to say with computer screens. If based on that alone, if your eyes are interpreting what you're seeing, and your eyes can't tell the difference between what's on the computer screen and what's around you in the room, based on tone, color, hue, shade.
You
know what's the
sorry, you froze your face. It distracts me.
Sorry, it's because there's something over it.
Okay.
We have we talked about this on the show once before. I can't remember. We were talking about finding beauty in the darkness, and what we find is that actual darkness, when in terms of light, when you're in a completely dark space, there's no color. Nothing has color without light. If it is 100% dark, which is pretty impossible. Isn't really possible. That's why we still see a little bit of blue. Like that's why a lot of the film filters to show nighttime is blue, because we do see some color at night because there's at least some light. But that changes the hue. That changes the way the colors are interacting at night. That's why everything has a weird look to it. It's not necessarily the same. So that's all. All that is just to say this is how our brain interprets the world around us through visual. But then there's also hearing, and that can fuck with you. Sometimes you think you hear a voice, and it's just a sound that nature made. There's like
Mhm.
sometimes you might smell something, and it's a mixture of smells, and your brain goes, "That's this," but that object or thing that smells that way is not actually there. It's just the mixture, and your brain is misinterpreting it. Our brain misinterprets shit all the time,
Oh,
and
absolutely. And
and
our brain overrides
yeah,
our eyes, because I took figurative drawing classes, and there's classes where you have to like draw your buddy beside you. And dude, I, not to brag on my part, but I could fucking nail it, because you know what I was doing? I was looking at their face, I was looking at the lines, I was building it as a grid-like structure. Guess what? That actually makes a likeness of a fucking person. But then like a lot of people, they'd be drawing shit and I'd be like, "Oh, weird. That looks a little bit like the person drawing it. Oh, wait, that looks a little bit anime, because that person, I mean manga, because that person likes to do that kind of drawing." And it's like you see the brain put a filter over the art that they're supposed to be making, directly seeing with their eyes. So it's like it's obscuring it. And
yeah.
you start talking that shit to people are like, "What?"
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, it's just science, man. And it's like, if you realize it and you spend a lot of time working with it, that's how you become a really good artist, because it's really, I'm an illusionist. I'm just making a
Yeah,
fake thing, like you said with movies,
yeah.
with the filters.
So
Hmm.
this was just to explain the concept of where the term red pill, blue pill came from. Like the idea of the red pill is that this is all just an illusion put over our eyes. We're actually asleep in some machine somewhere, and we can wake up and get out of the matrix. And then that idea has been completely fucked with by this. It is actually a bit political. I looked it up, and it's actually an anti-feminist movement. That's how it started. The red pill movement is what they
Okay.
call it. Basically, like letting men be men and making sure that women be women. And then that transcribed into like men having to adhere to certain standards to be considered a man. And that's the part of it that I really want to touch on, because this is part of why this podcast even started.
Mm.
Welcome to the mainstream blue pill podcast. Let's get like I'm not asking you to go into the matrix and stay in the simulation. That's what I want to definitely like hammer down right now. That's not what I'm asking. The red pill movement suggests that you're going to come out of the matrix. But it also suggests that coming out of the matrix means womanizing, patronizing, um, basically
Well,
becoming an asshole just for the sake of looking like a man, whatever your interpretation of that is.
sorry, the pump's going off for some reason.
Can't hear it.
Oh, good.
Good.
Um, Man, getting into the talk of the Matrix, though,
Yeah, no, we
it
can go
just,
further into that because
dude, I
then
know, but
I
like,
realized that I'm a sci-fi fan, and I feel like everyone has watched The Matrix, so we
well,
might
so the
be able to
thing
go
is,
more about
the
that.
Matrix, the Matrix is all based in philosophy. And
Yeah,
I've read all these different books. I was so into the Matrix, and I read stuff, and that's going to be a lot of the backbone of my future writing. And so is that postmodern theory. But even when you're talking about it, I'm like, oh yeah, the red and the blue and the reality versus, are you in the Matrix? Are you in reality? And those are also subjective. Like, are you
right.
dumb? Do you see the truth? Are you woke? Are you this? Like, and then they all have their own version of it. So it's like, it really spins your head around, because you're like, that could mean so much shit. But in terms of this, what do we want to clearly like focus on? It's just the masculine aspect of how this has been going, because you're
That's
talking about this weightlifter
I think
and
that's what I want to really focus on, because like there's a point in which it becomes an Ouroboros essentially. Like you can go
yeah, the
if you
ass
actually
eating
were to
snake, right?
yeah if you were to follow this this movement. um have you heard of the term incel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not even really supposed to use it on this platform, but we're using it as an education and non-derogatory way. But yeah, it's involuntarily celibate, like someone who's, living maybe nerd's lifestyle and not getting out there and, would like a relationship, but that nobody wants them, kind of thing. That's
The
right.
term is short for involuntary celibate.
Yeah.
Which in that regard, it means that they would have sex if women
Yeah.
would let them.
Yeah.
And like just that statement alone, let's break that down. Like that's, oh man. What do you mean let them? Like what do you mean like everything's against you and that's the reason why no one wants to have sex with you? Is that where you're going? Is that, I can't believe it even got this far. To have like huge forums and like a whole movement built around this idea that that like you have to be a certain kind of man and every woman should like that kind of man.
Yeah, that's interesting because I don't know. Like, I feel like
I don't want to get
anybody
I don't want to speak on women's behalf. That's the thing. Like,
spruce themselves up a bit. It's a bummer, right? Some people are in different situations. Some people might be considered that because they're disabled, and it's like that's a real fucking bummer. Like there's nothing you can do with that. So no shade there, but it's like some people, they just think like, hey, I'm not good looking, or I'm overweight. But hey, people like that. You can't just discredit being older. Like I'm old, and when I'm old, but I'm aging and bald and overweight, and it's like, oh, I'm fucking, fuck me, I'm done. But like for different people, that's okay. It has, and it's like the person I'm really screwing with is me. I'm like, oh, that's just not okay by some Hollywood standard. I think that's what we all get locked into. I'm not running around like fucking Chris Prime. Yeah, Chris Prime. I'm not Chris Prime.
He will be voicing Optimus Prime before too long.
What?
He will be voicing Optimus Prime before we know it, because he's voicing any character that he shouldn't be. No, I'm joking. I'm a big fan of Chris Pratt. Don't go on his social media. Just stay a fan of his work.
I was actually gonna say Chris Pine.
Chris Pine. Oh, him. Well, Chris
There's so
Pine
many
is
fucking Chris's out there. Goddamn 80s kids. Everyone's named Chris and Jason. Brian. Fucking, and so many Chris Bryans, Johns. I guess John's biblical. Anyway, Matts,
Yeah.
But yeah, you see a guy on TV. Same thing happens to women. Now, this is something that I do want to make a point to.
Yeah.
A lot of women think that the social expectation to be beautiful, which is thrust upon them. I mean, shit, my mom said one time, like, oh, my mom competed with me and all my sisters for being proper and beautiful. And I'm like, oh, that was a different time, brother. Like the expectation that was thrust on people. Now women don't necessarily like to say like, oh, you should smile more. Like some old boomers, like, you should smile, like present yourself and be pretty. And then I was working for this older woman, and she was like, she kind of got herself together before we went to a restaurant. She's like, oh, I have to look presentable. And it's like the old, yeah, that's an old ideology. And I can see where that even still resonates with a lot of people, but they say it doesn't exist in men. Like, we're all set. We're always confident. Dude, that is not true. Like, I have such like body issues and confidence issues with the way that I looked for my whole life. And a lot of it was because I watched movies and I saw dudes. I was like, man, that guy is fucking handsome as fuck and like super fit. And God damn it. And, I saw a lot of women move on with other guys. So it affected my self-worth. And I can see how that mindset can almost start working against you. And you were talking about these people that think they can't get out there. I think most of it starts inside the old mind here. It's your own confidence. And sure, there are people that, just have stuff against them, but a shower and a shave and a new t-shirt, does a world of wonders. And just realize like, I'm not going to be Chris Prime. I'm going to be Charlie Half-Ass, but Charlie Half-Ass can probably still get out there, because the world isn't a storybook, man. It isn't this beautiful painting. It's just regular people.
Yeah,
it's just regular people, dude. And then you look at people on Instagram. I'm like, holy fuck, everybody's in fit and everyone's good looking. Walk around your actual town. I mean, if you live in Miami or California, maybe it's a different story. Walk around New England in the off season right now. It's not models walking on the street. Sorry, guys. It's just regular people.
Ethan, what last name? Ethan. He was
Ethan
on
Hunt from the fucking Mission Impossible.
No, it was the actor's name. Ethan. He was on
My Name is Earl.
Hi, My Name is Earl. He was the big guy. I don't know if his brother. It was his brother or cousin or something. I can't remember. But
yeah,
he after that show, he got sick of his own shit. This is the part of the red pill movement that is sucking people in. And this guy is not part of the red pill movement. I want to focus on that. He's actually
because I can already say. Do you know why he got skinny?
I can't remember.
He was getting married, and his wife helped him through that.
That's amazing.
So there you go. He already even had somebody. He didn't do it for the sake of being ripped or someone else. And if you listen to his show, I've listened to a bunch of them. Talks about. I know this for sure. When we grew up, we didn't even have certain standards of health being taught to us. They're just like, eat all this plastic food, eat this, buy all this shit. Here you go. And it's like, we realized like in our 30s and 40s, it was like, oh, dude, I've been destroying myself. I'm an addict and nobody helped me. Like he was an addict. And then nobody informed him, bro, you're killing yourself, until his wife loved him and said, yeah, I really want you to stick around, bud. And it's Ethan Suppley, right? Yes. Supple boobs.
Thank you. Yeah, he is a huge inspiration to me for my fitness journey, just because his reason for doing it, the way he's treating it. He's like honestly, I almost want to say he's a blue pill movement sponsor. You know, like he's a man for the sake of just being himself. Like he's not a man because he's trying to adhere to some societal standard or like prove to women that he's desirable. You know, he's just doing his thing. Yeah. He wants to be healthy. He wants to be strong.
He doesn't want to die, basically, is what I gather. Yep. He was massively overweight. He was a drug addict. He was doing it all, dude. And I've been there before, like substance, wow, you know. And guess what? It fucking destroys you as you age, and you have to make a choice. Like, do I want to die at 55? Do I want to fucking maybe make it to 70? Maybe I want to be to 80. And people who have kids, they get even more hardcore with that, because it's like, fuck. I have a friend. He's like, I watched my dad have a heart attack just recently, and he wasn't that old, and I could get there soon and then leave all these kids, like, and they're not even like out of high school. And I'm like, yeah, good point, bud.
Let's go into the deep dive.
Let us go into deep dive.
Billions and billions of deep dives.
Billions and billions. We're going into the deep dive, everybody, and my Sidekick app is borked. Hold on, clicking that off. No more of that. So
let me see your face moving around again too.
Oh yeah, sorry. Here we go. The deep dive, as part of this subject, I want to sort of focus on how the red pill movement can completely destroy your life if you let it.
Define. I mean, like, really define it. Like, what's the point of getting red? Because I always thought red pill was like, now you're on team. You're on the Republican or conservative side or Trump side.
So conservative is a good word for it. So conservative is they want a return to women in the kitchen. That's one big thing.
I want to go in the kitchen. Come on, let's put me in the kitchen.
Yeah, I want to be. Let me cook. Let him cook. Literally.
Washing it up.
No, really.
Come on, man. I kill it in the kitchen, bro.
There's a big movement of the fitness part of it is a big thing. Like do nothing. You should focus purely on fitness and getting strong and looking strong and being attractive.
I got it.
So
I got a good profile. Ooh, brother.
Wow.
Brother. I mean, I'm an ox of a man. But that's just because I had to be enslaved by my own body.
So
don't feel pain, pussy, get up, you know, like, and that's not good. Now I have probably body dysmorphia. So anyway, so
it's sort
we're
of
talking about conservatism.
Well, it's an analogy to bring awareness to the contrast between. This is a great way to summarize it. It's bring awareness to the contrast between the men's rights movement, fathers' rights groups, and what they perceive as gynocentrism in a wider society. So it's basically like trying to say that like the men deserve a men's rights movement. There's like that's a big part of it too. It's like we've had.
Sorry, you totally broke me on gynocentrism, because I'm like, is that gyno vagina, or is that guy no guy no? And I was like, oh wait, I just broke. Like, gyno gyno no guy.
I'm kind of definitely showing my political leanings by saying this, but I feel like men have had the run of the show for a while, and just gesturing at everything, all of the things. Is it going well? Are men doing a good job running the show? Is this I don't know. Is this working? Like I don't know why we focused on. I don't know why it happened that way in society. I don't know why there was never. I think there probably was a couple of societies that were more women run throughout history, and I don't know about them that well. I feel like there had to have been, but I need to actually research that and see which ones were and do that research. So I'm not going to comment on like which would be better. I just know that like men have had the majority run of the show. Like, well, here's sorry,
you can't have all women or all men. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I know,
because it just because like
that's not what I'm saying.
I'm fully. CP. I know.
What I'm saying is that I got to finish my point. The whole thing I'm getting at is that I was heading to that where it's not about like which one is better, because essentially humans are flawed, so it's always going to have have some messed up thing. But I do still I still wonder, looking at the way things have gone, of like the one of the prevailing things throughout history is that the majority of time that has gone by, men have been in charge, and that we have the Dark Ages, we have the nuclear holocaust, we have like just so many things. Well, the invention of the nuclear bomb, World War II. We have like all these things. Like, I'm not saying wars wouldn't have happened. Maybe different wars would have happened. I just think that it just makes me wonder, because that's the one thing that I can point at and go that was consistent throughout all of history. That's the one thing. There's a lot of stuff that has variable, but men have been pretty much in charge for the majority. Yeah, it's crazy to think that.
Well, I mean, I think the problem is today
we're superior after all this BS. Like, why is there men out there that think that men are better and men should be in charge?
Well, you know, I think historically it just fell into those roles. Like, men had a certain amount of strength and insanity, I guess, to run up on an animal with a spear. I'm not saying that there wasn't a few women that would do the same thing, but from what I gather, women got like really proficient at hunting and gathering, you know, and men decided to hunt. And there was like a little bit of a division in what people would do. But then if we're talking about history of just war and then domestication and like the guys outside moving like really heavy shit. But I mean, we didn't have tractors, you know, the mechanized world has really equalized the playing field. You don't have to be a giant, strong man. You could take a backhoe and a man or a woman can drive it and move the things. We don't need to fight with a sword or in the ring. We just shoot each other, unfortunately, now. So everything is equalized. So there's no reason to live in that structure wherever we created it from or what thing out of necessity. Our world has changed so wildly in the last 100 years, right? Everything's equalized. So I think equalizing, neutralizing, whatever you want to call it, I think that's what the key is. It's not about men running the show. It's not about women running the show. And women probably want to run the show because it's like, well, the men got to run the show for a while. Now we'll take over. No, let's just split it. And the age is out of control. 80-year-old men running the show. You know, like, we need to have different ages in our political system. We need to have men and women. And since I've seen more integration of women in, this is on a personal level, education, local politics, legislation, all these different things. We have a woman vice president. We're seeing the shift change, and what I've experienced firsthand is guys, John Waynes of the world, that's just the way it is. That's where we did it. We just killed ourselves for that. I lose it all. They're willing to fucking die and lose it all, some of these guys. But then there's women that are coming up and being like, well, that's not very sensible. And we could probably do it in a different way. And we could not fuck over this guy. Like, there's a understanding that men have just said, fuck it. Or we can't be understanding because it makes us weak. And because it'll in the world of men, I can't be understanding and sensitive, because now it's like, oh no, like, that guy's becoming more alpha.
Can be.
I say be that, and then you become the alpha. Like, yeah, man, I don't give a fuck, dude. Challenge that shit, man. I'm comfortable.
I don't know how this this next anecdotal sort of detail is going to come off to our viewers, but I don't know.
Canceled.
I honestly don't know how to say this a different way, and I've been struggling with it for the past couple minutes. I recently became single, right? And
I know
it's
thirst traps back on the Instagram.
It's
and
absolutely insane that I'm somewhat chubby. My beard isn't perfect. I got some traits that are a little awkward, like my personality.
Your beard isn't perfect.
Can be a little bit
fucking trimmed up.
A little bit awkward. I can be a little bit. I'm very nerdy. There's that. There's all these stigmas that I think because I'm chubby, because I'm not super fit. I'm all right, but I've gotten a lot of attention. I just try. It's crazy how much these men are thinking you have to be this manly man and take charge and be type A and all these different things, right? And we talk about, you were talking about the equality of it and equity. I feel like it's about equity, not equity. Hold on, wait, equality. I think it is equity. One moment, I want to make sure.
Equity usually means stuff.
Yeah.
Or build up accumulation. Usually in money. Property, like resources, right? But
this
no,
is
I understand that.
This is a really great image that sort of describes it better than I can. This is the equality, equity, and justice cartoon. Go to the share page here to show it, and I'll explain it for people who are just listening. So I wanna just talk about how we all are technically all on the same page, and these men who are these incels. And I don't want to put everyone in the red pill movement all in the same box. If you're believing, everyone's going to believe it for different reasons. Like, if someone's watching now and they've actually prescribed to some of these things, I want to say that it's probably a lot of the reasons that you're following it may be good reasons. Maybe you want to get fit. Maybe you don't want to be, maybe you want to lose weight. There's a lot of different reasons that someone might go towards it. But I want to call them the incels in the group, the people who are doing it because they feel like they want to change society back to the way it was in the 50s, that's where it's are you sure? Like you were saying before, yeah, too, with the guys who are like, we've always done it this way. So when older folks like that would say that phrase, they're also thinking of the good old days. And there really was never a good old days. There was a good time for one particular group, but someone was, in order for a utopia to exist, one marginalized group has to exist in the dystopia to maintain the utopia.
Well, and it's interesting you bring up utopia and stuff like that, because I talked to my friend who was talking about the red pill that I brought up at the beginning of the podcast, and I'll throw ideas his way, more more liberal ways, and his friend is very liberal. His best friend's very liberal, and they always argue about shit. But it's interesting because he's just in a space where you'll talk to him about this stuff and what we could do, and then he's like, well, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
I just don't think it could happen. Like, he goes, the idea of his utopia, or the utopia that I present on both sides of the red and the blue, you can't necessarily have that because not everybody's going to agree to it. It's like the idea of like, oh, all of a sudden we don't like consumerism one day. It's controlling us. How many people are going to want to stay in that consumer matrix? Because that's just easy and like, so it's
this is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
When we're thinking of the equality problem.
Mm-hmm.
Is the equality too far removed from what you were about to say? I got hyper focused. I apologize.
Well, it wasn't necessarily focused so much on in this case, like men and women, and it was more focused on political systems that would make equality better. Things that related probably into money. When it all comes down to it, I think money having certain things, we're all at a different level, and I think that's what really fuels a lot of this stuff. Is like why I want to be more strong. Sometimes it's because like I feel weak because I don't have much, and a lot of that is because of the system. And it's like I wish I could just work on the farm, or I wish I could work on I wish I could have a simple life where I made a living and my wife stayed home and we had kids and they worked on the farm. But it's not reality. It's not.
Sorry, I'm just triggering my ADHD like crazy.
That's how the Berlin Wall happened, brother. You see, one side didn't like like capitalism, brother.
The other side did like capitalism, dude.
They built a wall, brother. That's Germany, dude.
Oh my god.
Dude, Hulk Hogan should give like history lessons. Hey, did you see? Speaking of Hulk Hogan, 40th anniversary of Hulkamania, and he literally just saved a woman in a car.
Yeah, I saw that, and I saw a meme where it said just like, imagine you just crashed, you're delirious, you probably got a little bit of head trauma, and then you you see a hand reaching for you. Grab my hand, brother.
Grab my hand, brother.
I would just be like,
let me get you out of here, brother.
What is happening right now?
I just flipped that car upside down, brother.
So out of it. So funny.
That's how vehicles roll over, dude.
I'm gonna explain this cartoon real quick, so we can move on to the next thing. So this actually is I saw a chopped up version of this. I saw a censored version of this, dude. No, we got so reality.
That's how you fix the minds of the people on the internet. You give them part of the information, dude.
Currently, the system we live in now is reality, right? What we live in, and one gets more than is needed, while the other gets less than is needed. A huge disparity is created. And then the next panel, equality. The assumption is that everyone benefits from the same supports. Like everyone gets the same level of support, and it should be enough, right? Everyone just assumes that's good. Everyone's getting a fair share.
That little fucking kid.
Exactly.
That little kid he's just peeking through.
It's a really great visual. Like the little kid still can't see. It's the same supports. And then equity is everyone gets the support they need. And that produces equity. So the little kid gets 2 boxes so that he can see. The middle kid gets 1 box so he can see. And then the person who's tall enough can already see. But then it gets really interesting here. You get to the next one, it's justice. So you remove the wall. Take the wall away, and you don't need supports. I love this concept. Like, wait a minute. Why was there a wall to begin with? Probably, because you don't want the baseballs to fly, crazy everywhere or something, or maybe
you can't have them fucking rolling out into the parking lot, busting windows.
Maybe it's a private field and you have to pay to get in. Sorry, I'm going way too far.
No, because I can scrub that, because see where the hitting is. It's right, So I'm saying they're right in line with the hitter.
Yeah, And then so justice is
So
all
now their justice is gonna be, they're gonna get fucking slammed in the nuts by a ground ball. That kid's gonna get a fucking split skull.
do an entire episode on the idea of systems and systemic problems. But this talks about
we could just keep talking indefinitely.
Well, this
and then
talks
we'll just be
about-
old men.
Honestly,
we'll fix it someday, brother.
I played with the idea of us recording for a whole day and me just chopping it up into episodes. I played with that idea, but this talks about
Dude, only if
3.
you do like a memento type thing where we play them backwards, or something where it's like we get less tired and go back to the beginning. Like it starts with, it's like, why is it mine number 50? Fuck yeah. And then like we just get more and more alert. Like
we should play with that someday. That might be cool.
That's cool, man.
All 3
so yeah, justice
is all 3 can see the game without supports or accommodations because the causes of the inequity was addressed. So the systemic barrier has been removed. So this is a quick little like way to talk about this. It doesn't go into the nuances of it. But then when you think about, so the game is being played by professionals and everyone wants to see the professionals kick ass at the game, but then inclusion, this was added to it from someone else. It's an interesting idea. Everyone is included in the game. No one is left on the outside. We didn't only remove the barriers keeping people out, but we made it so that they were valued and involved.
See, I'm stopping at like 3, dude. Like that just shows where I'm at. Like reality, I feel like is the first one. I feel like that's how you live, especially in today's world, poor, whatever. People are held back. And then equality kind of sucks for the little kid, but he'll grow up. He'll get into
See
it
what
anyway.
Abso said, just in case.
Equity's cool, like where we do have all the money to make everything good but safe. But it's like when you get into justice, man, like I don't know, dude. You're gonna get hit by the ball with the justice and inclusion. It's like you said, it's like, I mean, it's the whole thing's stupid anyway. It's a multi-billion-dollar sports industry that keeps you blindsided to stuff. But like, we're not all gonna play, because you get into the gold star thing. You were in the you were the gold star.
The inclusion thing is just interesting because you're right. There's too much nuance. Not everyone's gonna want to play, and you don't want to force people to play. There's a lot of nuance here that's lost in this cartoon. This is just a diagram. You know, it's just a simple like a way to sort of help define the words better. Because people throw these words out in political spheres, they throw them out all the time, and do you really know what it means? And this is a great way to know what it means very fast.
Well, it's tough because you can't give a bat to a psychopath too.
Yeah, I'm talking about the some of us
are just broken. Like some of us gotta be careful with what we give each other, and who has the ball and who's in the line of fucking the pitcher.
Your storyteller's showing CP. you're starting to build the story into this cartoon.
I know, it's just unsafe, dude. Like,
yeah,
like that's the thing about. I believe in inclusion, but to a certain extent. Like I'm not gonna fucking go skiing tomorrow.
Well, I was just having this conversation.
I would fucking break my leg. I'm not part of that.
Part of this red pill movement is also the one thing they love to bring up is that there's it's a scientific fact that, again, the majority, not everyone, not every woman, not every man, but the majority of men are physically stronger genetically than the majority of women. That's just one of those scientific facts, just because of the muscle mass thing, the testosterone. There's so many reasons. But the red pill movement loves to use this as an example that there will never be equity. That's why I wanted to define the words better.
But it's like, it's in a situation where you'd be like, oh, women can't rule everything because the men would just come in and dominate them. It's like, well, what if they had fucking Ingvar Sentinels with like guns and shit that popped off on you? Like, you're not understanding like that the physical body is less used. And sure, like, what am I gonna run around prowess? Hey, Matt, I bet I could take fucking 13 chicks and beat them all up at once, like 40 women. It'd be like Hugo Weaving in the Matrix. I'd just be kicking like what kind of shit is that? Like people saying like I'm stronger than women, I can be more dominant.
Keep
That's
forgetting.
fucking scary.
Those of you who have not seen The Matrix, this is a story about a man working in an office who one day starts to wake up to something. He feels like something's wrong, something's off, and then he digs a little deeper, and he gets approached by someone who says, "Well, you're starting to learn something. Here's what we can do. We can give you the red pill, or we can give you the blue pill. The red pill takes you out of this crazy illusion and see what the world really is. And then or you can take the blue pill and you can go back to blissful ignorance." That's where it comes from. And then the movie itself, so he ends up taking the red pill in the movie, and he learns that humans are basically batteries for a giant machine. Like the entire planet is overrun by machines in the real world.
We're fucking Duracell, dude.
Yeah. And then he basically learns how to control the simulation, so he can go back into the Matrix. But now with this newfound awakening, he now is like a superhero almost, because he can control the program.
I tell you who's not a superhero is the Space Viking today, because he doesn't have his cape on.
No, my cape is hanging up over there.
Mine's freshly washed. Oh yeah, baby. So I got it all good for you.
I know you don't have too much time left, CP, so I want to we can get into the breath of fresh air a little bit. We basically I don't agree with the red pill movement at all. I feel like men are going to be who they are. I feel like individualism is where the answer is. Be yourself, because like I found more confidence in being myself in the last couple months than I did following any of these fads, trying to follow some doctrine, like just being my damn self, and people just accepted me for it. And it's like, wow, I guess I had it so wrong growing up. I kept thinking I had to adhere to some standard. Turns out I just had to like let go and just be me.
Some standard that a small group of people made for us.
If the red pill movement started because of an incel ideology, it's totally baseless. Just be yourself, and the person that you want to, the kind of people that you should be with will find you. And there's also like the idea of like they a lot of them are just upset that they can't get a girlfriend. And it's like just be your fucking self. Like I've said it, we were told it all through the 90s. Just be yourself. That's a little bit too reductive. No, just be you. Not
Steph's here, Slack.
So that's sort of where I was getting at with I don't really agree with the red pill movement, and I wanted to sort of throw some wrenches into it, so that anyone who might listen to this, who might be getting swayed by it, like maybe don't be a misogynist, maybe don't want every woman to be in the kitchen because you feel like you're superior. I don't like. There's a lot of I feel like the problem with a lot of these arguments is no one actually wakes up in the morning going, I'm better than women. That's not how they actually talk usually. There's a couple guys.
I wish I could do that.
There's a couple podcasters I've listened to. They say stuff that's like so close to saying I'm better than women, like just blatantly, like it's so close to saying it. And I'm like, whoa,
dude. I've straight up heard people say stuff like back to this person I was talking about earlier. He just thinks that men are smarter, and I go, I'm just thinking in my head. I go, that's because you date stupid women, because that's what you want. I mean, people are smart and stupid at all different types of level. So my wife is way smarter than you, dude, but you're not dating her. I am. Because I'm smarter than you, dude. Like I value intelligence, and intelligence isn't part of just man or woman. Yeah, because we're strong doesn't mean we're stupid or lazy, and because women are wet or pretty doesn't mean they're like. That's the thing. The eyes, what you see, versus what the perceptions are. They're two different.
I do. It's funny that like the dude thinks that too, because I was that guy for a while, and I had to catch myself in it for the first part of the first couple of years of high school. I had to switch from wanting to feel smart to wanting to learn more. Like I could date someone stupid and I would feel smart, and it worked for a while, but I realized there was no depth. I was bored. And I'm like, wait, no, I want to grow. So I started dating people sort of on my same level. And then I was like, well, this feels stagnant. And now I'm trying to find people I can learn from.
When the other thing you said is just finding people and knowing like what you value. It always goes back to values. A lot of these guys, like, what is this culture struggling to find? Like, if these involuntary celibate people, like, what is their outreach? Is what I'm saying. Where are they meeting people? You know, if they're just gaming all the time, they're meeting people probably online and whatever.
There's a huge thing with.
Is that a good match for people?
I don't know. I mean, if I go by what I'm seeing on social media, which is honestly a very curated view, it's probably not reality. It sounds like a lot of the incels are trying to find dates at the gym. They're trying to go to the bar, you know, like where you would go normally, like what you'd think like a neurotypical person would probably go to a place to find a date. You know, it would be the bar. You'd probably be like in the park or at the gym, you know, like things like that. And that's what I'm seeing when I look.
Yeah, and that's like the that's like a lazy kind of that's just so simple. That's very adolescent, you know, like when you go out when you're young, and I guess that's what people do. They meet people when they're young.
Yeah.
But there's so many like realities to meet people in, and the best reality to meet people in is the one that you value the most, whether it's arts and music, or if you're really religious, go meet someone at church, dude. If you're really like into cooking, go take cooking classes and meet some, like, do the thing that you want to do anyway. So if you like, you know, it doesn't, without the intention like to be like, I'm gonna go meet someone at a cooking class, but just do things for yourself, and then naturally you'll be participating in the world that you want to and being around people that you do. And that's how you find people in your life. Like you and I, like, we found each other at a game night. We liked a game and stuff, but then we found like, hey man, like, I like this, I like that. We've been in a relationship for 4 years now, baby.
Love you, dude.
Love you, man.
No, I mean, I seriously do, but you're right. It's been, we've developed a relationship.
We wouldn't do that sitting home. We both left our houses. Like, we both went out to a place and drove and took a chance, and there we were.
Take a chance on me.
Take a chance on me. Yeah, fuck that movie. When I get into some sexism shit, man. I'm going out to girl. Hey, here's a little side note. I'm going to Girls' Day. It's Girls' Day with CP. And then they're like, I can't be a Girls' Day without CP. I'm like, all right,
this is
fuck
how
yeah.
I know
that makes me feel good.
That you're the right person to be doing this.
Yeah, I went and saw Mamma Mia with a few women, and that was something. But I'm willing to try. I'm willing to try.
So I just got I just got texted saying that Spectrum is going to be working on our internet here in very shortly. So we got to jump into the breath of fresh air. And
all right, let's get the fuck out of here.
Let's just goof.
I got about 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Let's just goof off a little bit. I actually got something prepared for this.
It's time for the breath of fresh air.
All right, so I have got something prepared here. So I found a page that actually I think you might follow it already, and I think that we have a couple of our other friends following it as well. And Ethan Suppley is actually following this channel as well. I just saw.
Nice.
So speaking of Ethan Suppley, so Hexa is following it as well.
Okay.
It's called Cheerful Nihilism. The page. And,
yeah, I think I've seen some stuff from
and
that.
It's got some really great.
I'm just finishing up the podcast. I think Ebso's in the shower.
Oh my goodness.
Just chill. We'll be right down there.
Sidekick popped up again. I gotta fix that.
Just my guest. One of our guests came in and went on.
Awesome. So
it's like half in the shower.
Most of these are just
proceed.
Pictures of words. So I'm not going to go to the share screen. I'm just going to read some of them out loud. This one is. This is the one that I found this morning that made me want to do this for Breath of Fresh Air. The crushing weight of 2 manageable tasks. And the next one was the crushing weight of no tasks, but feeling like there should be a task. And then the next one is the crushing weight of not knowing if there is a task. I'm starting to think this crushing weight is not about the tasks. Yes, That's a good one. I love that a lot.
It's cool. I love that kind of stuff.
Oh my goodness. Actually, I may have to there are actually some that have pictures that go with them. Speaking of
What
Spectrum
is
being
this
here,
X up on the screen, dude?
I fixed it. I fixed it.
So what the fuck? Did we break?
Did we break ground? No, we didn't break ground.
Oh, hey, put a heating pad on your cat's bed or a heat light. Inky will stay there. That's a life hack for you.
So I cast extremely slow internet. Is what this says, and it drew me in because it looked like the Matrix in the background because we were just talking about that.
Yeah, but yeah, shout out to the Matrix. Like people politicize. They're taking a movie from 1999, right? The movie was you know the Wachowskis were brothers who ultimately became trans or were, I don't know how that works, but they're ladies now, and that's what it was all about to them.
Mm-hmm.
It was about not feeling like themselves. So none of it meant any of all this like heavy philosophy. It's a movie from 99, so far away, and all the stuff that has been derived from that fucking movie is crazy.
Yeah.
But when it first came out, it was just all heavily rooted in the ideas of these philosophers. Jean Beauregard, I think, was the philosopher that they were referencing. The Bible, like you said, there's a guy in an office, Thomas Anderson, right? Thomas was named after probably doubting Tom from the Bible. Ander is Ander's son. Like there's all these connections like in the writing, and it's so heavy, but some of it's speculation. And then you find out years later, it was like, oh, it was about like their life and not feeling comfortable in their own skin. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense too. But now it's just funny. Like we're still using the movie, the red pill, this, that. It's like, dude, you don't even know where the art form fucking came from anymore. It's just become a carbon copy of some shit. You don't even, that's just the way things are, brother. That's how I say it.
But that's what if you have following the red pill, they are taking their own form of a blue pill because they're building their own matrix to live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. It doesn't make any sense, does it?
No, not really. It's like just be you. Fuck. So this next one is a cat, a blocky Minecraft-looking cat. Saying
that's from Katamari Damacy.
It's okay if all you did today was survive.
Absolutely. The fish didn't, though.
No, that's okay though.
That's great. That's a great one because the fish didn't and the cat did.
Eat cheese and sin. It says, do you have any plans this week? Me. Eat cheese and sin. Yes, those are my plans this week. I'm actually probably going to go cheese right after this.
Really?
Yep, just cheese.
Cheese nuts.
Just cheese.
Oh, and, we already got the car warming up?
Here we go.
Oh, we should probably wrap it up. I see the car.
We are wrapping it up. That's why we're doing it.
Oh, they're running to the dump. We got a few minutes.
Oh, okay. It's been a rough
That's from
year.
Katamari Damacy. Did you ever play that?
I want to. I haven't gotten to
dude,
yet.
You of all people gotta play that.
I mean, it's probably on Nintendo Switch, actually. It's got to be on Nintendo Switch.
You roll a ball and you get little things, and they get bigger. Next thing you're picking up cats, and towards the end of it, you're picking up buildings and shit. Yeah. It's fucking awesome. But those are definitely the cats that you would roll up. He goes Minecraft. See, this is what I'm saying about people. They get it all wrong. Red pill, blue pill, Katamari Damacy, Minecraft. They just all fuse this together. Nobody even knows anything.
I just meant blocky. I don't remember.
It's not your fault.
I don't remember anything though.
It's not your fault, dude. It's just pouring down on you. I mean, that's not a good image.
Speaking of self-improvement, I started doing memory exercises.
Good. I started showering more because I watched our podcast about the 4 billion pounds of skin dust on me, and I was like, that's probably a good idea to.
They say.
I mean, I always showered every day, but now I'm like, yeah, let's get this skin dust fucking off.
Since that episode, I actually learned that you shower every day, but wash your hair every other day.
I was talking about that. I was like, is it good to wash your hair because you need the oils and stuff?
The oils are good, so you should wash your body every day just so that you don't get like. Well, it depends on where your comfort level is, because if you don't mind having like acne and and other just random like blackheads and stuff. Shower as many times as you want, but I hate the feeling of having acne and blackheads, so I just tend to do a scrub once a day.
Is that how you
Uh,
get acne? Not showering?
it's just bacteria getting stuck in your skin. That's all it
Oh,
is. That's all it is. It's bacteria
I know
in
some
the
people are more
pores.
susceptible.
Yeah, it's an immune system thing. If people have like a lot
Mm.
of acne, it's like your immune system is basically attacking it. This is something I would have to look up. I don't have time to do that right now. But so this next
Yeah, I don't
one
know all the derm stuff. I had psoriasis
is
and it was a buildup
yeah.
of skin. And yeah, there's crazy things that the skin can do. It's like, what?
So I'm feeling this year. It's Bob Belcher coming up the stairs, and he said it's been a rough year. And then Louise is like, it's the first week of January.
All the trauma of 2023 is just hanging, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking to my friend, you know, this woman that I'm helping out with her husband in the hospital, and I was like, there, I was like, what's amazing? This all happened last year, and it kind of blew her mind, you know. And I was like, well, I mean, December, but it just seems like super long when you're like, this happened last year. Like, how long has this guy been in the hospital? No, it's only about a month and a half, but it was last year.
There's no context to this one. This is amazing. It's just it's a very old like copy of like a pamphlet. I don't know what year. It's definitely older because of the font. But why you should. Number 1, Acorn's not getting any cheaper. 2, won't know what it tastes like until you try it. 3, haunted could mean a lot of things. 4, it can't burn forever, right?
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know.
Like they're just like isms or something?
Number 5, not every day they're handing out venomous reptiles. Number 6, probably nothing to worry about. Number 7,
what's that Danny McBride one?
It's Tuesday. Danny McBride?
It was like a little bit of, he had the mullet, the curly mullet, and it was just like a hidden one frame. That's from Eastbound and Down. You want to talk about the most ignorantly misogynistic stuff, like his character in that?
Yeah, he's written that way. So me dealing with my coworkers, family, and life in general. I'm trying so hard to not be an asshole to you guys, okay? Just please work with me here. That's pretty good. I like that one too. That's fantastic. Oh my goodness. This is why I love this page. Finding this was great. And then they just have these really wholesome ones too.
It's Tuesday, bruv, isn't it?
This one is it's just a picture of Freddie Mercury eating soup with his cats in 1987. And then Inky shows up, like right as I talk about that. Yo, Inky. Yo. Yo. Hey, yo. Quit being a mark for cats.
I'm on a delay and I can't see your live video. This is like, hold on. I'm confused.
Right, now I'm watching, you can see the live video.
Abso coerce.
You should be able to see it now.
Into doing a dump run.
He's a very.
What the fuck's going on?
She's a very shiny kitty.
Oh, this got that Olivia Munn hair.
Yeah, my mom's been feeding her like actual meat, which I wasn't doing. First got her. Now she's like, silly. Hear that, Inky? We're filling you with chemicals. That your hair is nice.
This is a real breath of fresh air. Oh, and he even knocked your microphone up. It's like, get off this fucking show and let's snug, dude. Let's snug up. Give me a treat. Keep those other cats the fuck out and let's chill.
Your annual reminder that you can sing Black Sabbath's War Pigs to the tune of Deck the Halls, and vice versa.
Deck the hall, deck the hall. Generals gathered in their masses. I can't.
Yeah, it works.
I can't figure.
No, that was
I can't figure it. Deck the halls and bars of hall.
It's the same.
Like generals gathered in their masses.
Yep.
I mean, I guess you could do that anything.
That's pretty good. I like that one. I like posts like that make me things I wouldn't have even thought about.
I know. I music, and I'm weird. I love just mashing stuff up in my head, and sometimes I'll try to sing songs over other songs.
This one is a picture of a guy taking a picture of a active volcano, and his camera and his shoes are starting to catch fire. And it says, "Dave, fuck off, Sean. I'm taking a picture." Dave.
Yeah, I wouldn't have said anything to fucking Dave. Be like, well, Dave's out.
Plus, he's dedicated. He's dedicated to the craft.
Well, that's like that woman who wanted to go in and pet the fucking bears in the zoo or whatever. Sometimes they get on a gorilla or something, like, cute stuffed animal, and then they get fucking ripped up.
Right?
It's like, they're not teddy bears. I saw one thing once. These tourists were down by the beach on the Maine coast, and there was like a baby seal, and the baby seal was probably pretty fucking pissed because it got washed up on shore and it wasn't with its family. And these people walked over like they're gonna pet that thing like it's a dog, and I'm like, yeah, maybe you don't want to do that. And yeah, it snapped at him, and they're like, oh shit. I'm like, those things have razor sharp teeth for like ripping fish apart. They're not cats and dogs. They're the wildlife, man. And to that point, I was in a video game shop petting a like a husky. That motherfucker almost bit me. Said good with adults, but CP was like, oh, missed me.
Sometimes they do not be good with anyone.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they're like this.
Yeah, you don't always get to like pet everything. You don't always get to photograph it. This is a perfect shot. And
there are some great photographs of from the photographer taking the picture of the animal charging at them, but they paused long enough to take the picture and then probably bolted with their equipment.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of good shots that fucking Steve Irwin got too.
Yeah.
Not to make a joke of it, but it's like, God, like, do I talk about ADHD thrill seeker? Let's fucking go, and like, he did some amazing shit. Siegfried and Roy made some really good shows till, that tiger turned on them. You can't expect that it's kind of in the natural world. We're not supposed to kill each other, which we do, but natural world, oh yeah, we're safe. It's not this. It isn't centipede. These bugs in real life, that spider could be poisonous and outright wipe me out. Like talk about brain and physical reality connection we started with. No. You don't get to pet the bear in the zoo. You don't get to fucking film the volcano. You don't get to play with the Black Widow.
This meme says, My whole life consists of people asking me if I've seen this movie, and me telling them, no, I haven't seen it. No, I haven't seen that movie. And then them telling me I should see that movie, and then me telling them I'll add it to the list, but there is no list, and I won't watch that movie.
It's a nice. Go up that Billy. Go up a little bit, because I like there was a Mr. Rogers, and he's like, "Whoops, wrong sweater," and it was like Freddy Krueger. But then there was one underneath it. It was Billy Idol. It's like, it's a nice day for a white sweater. It's a nice day for a cardigan.
We don't even need to look at it now. You just said it.
I love Billy Idol,
That's
man.
Good. That's good.
He was fucking king in the 80s.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness.
And he made that cool cameo in the movie The Wedding Singer that I really like.
This is us, CP.
Hey, Adam Sandler. That was one of his good movies, buddy.
This one here is us. It's that meme with the car going off the highway, and it says, "Go this way, doing what I need to do. Going that way, doing what I want to do." And then the car flipped over on fire. Me somehow doing neither.
Until Hulk Hogan comes along, grab my hand, brother.
It's like, you'll be okay. I got you, brother. I would be so. It'd be so surreal. So there's the one you were talking about. Whoops, wrong sweater.
You ever flipped a car?
No, I've never rolled a car
Upside down.
No.
Achievement unlocked. You name an accident, I've probably been in it, bro.
I have almost rolled a car. It's a nice.
It sucks.
It's a nice day for a light sweater. It's a nice day for a cardigan.
Yeah.
Like it. It's good.
Hey, little sweat, what have you done?
I'm gonna link this page in the chat if anyone wants to follow a really great meme page that makes you feel a little bit better about the darkness in our world. These memes are all in that subject for the most part.
Or you could be not such a mark for memes, and maybe you don't follow it. It's up to you.
Look, I love memes because you can get a vibe of what's going on in the world from a picture and a small caption, and it's like, oh, I get the whole vibe, and I don't need to read like a whole article. That's what's crazy about them sometimes. Sometimes they're dangerous for that reason.
Think about it, bro. It gets a bit problematic. Be careful. They start making that information smaller and smaller and smaller.
Ancient philosophers, all these wonderful sculpted busts, men, and then modern philosophers. Kalu, Pepito, life is soup, and I am fork.
What are you talking about?
Life is soup, and I am fork.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
There is no spoon.
What the heck?
Dude, Matrix, brother. We came all the way back around. You can't red pill, blue pill me. I mean purple.
We were just talking about
pills with my soup spoon. But there is no spoon. There's no spoon at all.
We were just talking about animals chasing people. This one is a bear chasing someone, saying something I've been putting off for weeks that wouldn't take longer than 15 minutes to complete, and then the guy's running away from it. That's fantastic. Cool. I think we got to wrap it up there. I know you got to get going soon. You got to get ready.
Yeah, I got a few things to do today.
Need to get ready.
It's Girls' Day, man. I got to go be masculine.
Yeah,
it's Girls' Day. Girls, we're gonna fucking kick ass, girls.
Yeah, kick ass. Actually, speaking of this, like a great thing to wrap up on. Actually, like you're going to do a Girls' Day. Gonna get your feminine on. And I actually have a group.
I'm gonna go look at some vintage fucking antiques and shit.
My friend group, actually, we call ourselves lunch. Like our friend Alicia doesn't have that many friends who are girls, so she just calls all of us guys her gals, and we leaned into it so hard that it's our online group chat is called the gals, and it's like it's fun. It's fun like that. So alrighty, guys, thank you so much for watching.